Ready.
Get directly centered.
Okay.
Let's push it back because it's right in the shot. Okay. I'm ready to film.
Okay.
Hey Reject Nation, Greg Alba here. Stacy Howard. Stacy Howard on Instagram and Twitter. Follow her there. Miss Movies every Wednesday live on the YouTubes. We are going to talk about our top 5 favorite films to watch on this lovely holiday, Valentine's Day. Stacy will be out of town with her BF, her buff, mustached out BF. Do you still have that?
He's got, yeah, everything.
He's got everything.
He's not letting it go, no matter how much
you push for it. And I will be in my apartment with my girlfriend on Valentine's Day. I just can't ruin the surprise. She occasionally watches a video in the background.
You did a terrible plan.
Yeah, that's terrible. Terrible.
The legs are too long.
You have no idea what we're doing. It's gonna be so much fun. Anyway, guys, let's hop into this list, shall we? All right, Stacy, why don't you kick it off from 5 through 1. Number 5.
Number 5. So these are movies that you can watch on Valentine's Day. I should preface this by saying that not every couple likes rom-coms or like lovey-dovey movies, so if you want to watch a movie together, these are good options to do for Valentine's Day.
Which number 5?
Number 5. This is going to be an indie film. It's called Eagle vs. Shark. If you guys haven't heard of it, Taika Waititi, who of course just directed Thor Ragnarok, directed a bunch of amazing smaller films before he did this gigantic juggernaut that is Marvel. It's super cute. It stars Jermaine Clement, however you say his name.
Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords?
From Flight of the Conchords, yes. And also, you know, What We Do in the Shadows and all that fantastic stuff. So it's quirky and cute and really sweet, and it's just a good little watch. So Eagle vs. Shark is on Netflix. Check it out. That's my number 5. What's your number 5? I have a feeling
your picks are going to be a lot more interesting than my cliche picks to go from.
Are you a basic bitch?
I'm a basic bitch sometimes.
Okay.
I went with these movies that I thought would be good for couples to watch, because single people don't watch romantic movies on Valentine's Day.
No one wants to depress themselves.
No. So I went with ones that actually moved me, especially by the end of the film, when it all comes to fruition. So my number 5 pick is from the legendary comedian who everyone still loves, Adam Sandler. One of his awesome rom-coms, 50 First Dates.
Oh.
So yes, there's some spoilers in this video. So while the ending of this movie is ridiculous, with this woman who just relives the same day over and over again, and then by the end of the film, they're married and they have a kid, he has to constantly update this one VHS tape he has in order to
constantly edit.
It's a constant update he's always making so he can keep having the time of his life with her.
Where's his editing equipment on this boat?
I don't know. I don't know how he just
I'm
keeps
just throwing
updating
that
VHS.
out there.
It's confusing. Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's why it's number 5 on my list. However, whenever I get to that damn ending, there's something about it that brings me to tears.
Which ending?
The ending of when he's on the boat and then you see they got married and then
they have a kid and she's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, because it's like this guy's just willing to do anything for the woman he loves. And he will just dedicate every single day to keeping her updated so she can always remember or be, I don't know what the word is remember, but be updated on what their life is at.
Yeah, sure.
It moves me to tears, man.
I think of this movie as a horrifying thought. Okay, they had a kid, right? Imagine waking up. You think you're gonna be in your own bed. You think you're gonna be living your life and go paint and pick a pineapple and you have your day off. It's a nice Sunday. And you have like a fucking pregnancy belly. And you're like, what? I cannot think of a more horrifying thing.
Well, then you can write and direct the realistic take on 50 First Dates.
I will. And it's going to be every day you wake up and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
This guy
How did I get pregnant?
This guy's a codependent, controlling.
Yeah, a controller. There's a movie. It's with Colin Firth and Nicole Kidman and Mark Strong, maybe? It's that. It's 50 First Dates, but it's a horror movie.
Really?
Because she wakes up all the time and is like, I don't know my life, I don't know who you are, I don't know what's happening, and yeah, I think it's called Before I Go to Sleep.
Don't ruin my movie.
Okay.
Don't ruin my choice. This isn't a discussion.
It's literally the worst case scenario I could ever think of.
Yeah, let's move on to number 4, Stacy.
Okay. Number 4, oh, this one's interesting. Now, I like adventures, you know, I like sci-fi, so I went with a cute little film called Stardust.
Ah, good choice.
This is the movie before Charlie Cox was Daredevil. Then we know him and the big superstar of the Netflix Marvel adventure. He was the adorable, awkward lead in this just a really fun adventure film. Claire Danes and Michelle Pfeiffer and Mark Strong and Robert De Niro is a cross-dressing pirate that in a boat that's in the sky. It's got all kinds of crazy stuff.
From Matthew Vaughn?
Oh, maybe.
Wow,
Also,
Schmodown
Henry Cavill.
fail. Oh yeah, Henry Cavill's in it.
Henry Cavill.
That's a good pick.
Too.
That's a good pick.
It's a fun little
Some
movie.
oddball picks, but good picks.
I'm an oddball, but good girl. So there you go.
My number 4 pick is another cliche choice, but it's a cliche you might not hear millennials say. It is the movie that actually launched what we know as romantic comedies. It's a film called It Happened One Night. Have you seen it?
No.
Classic. Clark Gable and a girl. It's a movie starring Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, and I just saw it for the first time a couple weeks ago. My GF introduced me to this film. It surprisingly holds up really well, and I can see how it was like the introduction of what a romantic comedy is. The guy and the girl, they bicker with each other, they don't really get along, but you know they're into each other.
That's my favorite kind of film.
Yeah, like real life.
Yeah. I hate my boyfriend.
Yeah, because if you hate them, that means you're really into them. When I watched this movie, I was really taken back by, wow, their chemistry on screen for a 1934 film still is just as powerful and more powerful than a lot of romantic comedies that I see today. Because it was the catalyst for what we have as a romantic comedy genre, it just has to go on my list for what to check out on Valentine's Day, people.
Yeah.
That's the movie that has the famous scene where she lifts up her dress to stop the car. You know that famous moment?
I don't remember that.
And then the car stops. That's always parodied.
Oh,
like in Sex and the City 2, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Where they go to like Saudi Arabia or something.
Oh yeah. I feel like they'd get arrested if they did that.
Yeah, that's what was controversial. What's your number 3 pick, Stacey?
Okay. If you want to be with your significant other on Valentine's Day, your ride or die, your movie partner for life, the person that you both check in with on your movie pass for films, you want to have like a marathon, right?
Yeah, of course.
You want to be like a lazy movie day marathon, let's pig out, be in love on the couch. You got to do a Lord of the Rings trilogy marathon.
Is that what you chose?
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Wow, what oddball choice.
I just rewatched it today and I was like, this is, because it's one of those movies where, especially if you've seen it a million times, you can kind of like talk during it and like discuss scenarios and like, well, this theory is that conspiracy and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a good movie to watch together and it's long enough to where you can have like an all-day thing.
I love how you're breaking down the experience of being with someone and watching it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about my solo adventure and ignoring my girlfriend while I just watch the TV and be like, shut up, babe, I'm trying to watch the movie.
You're a terrible boyfriend, it sounds like.
I'm an abusive boyfriend. There's a difference. I still love her. That's how it works.
She's gonna listen to me.
Yeah, don't listen to me.
Okay, what's your number 3?
My number 3 pick, gosh, I feel like I should have like been more creative with my list. I have Die Hard with a Vengeance as number 3 on my list. My number 3 pick, which I think might appear on Stacey's list, is When Harry Met Sally. This was another film that I love because of how realistic it is. And I think that when I watch this film, it's probably the closest one in terms of chemistry and dynamics and banter that I have in my current relationship, where you don't really take anything too seriously. You can talk about whatever. You kind of have this best buddy, best friend relationship. And I feel like for the healthiest and the best couples, that's the kind of relationship you want. One where you could just bond and feel like you're best buds and then have, you know, sex with each other.
Yeah.
I wish I could have sex with all my best friends. Not John.
About John.
Nah, yeah, John. That's the only one I'm really linking to. And it's funny, the orgasm scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend does that all the time.
At restaurants?
Yeah, and in the bedroom. She doesn't ever, she never really does it.
She fakes it in the bedroom?
Yeah. I usually go to the other room and then she's like, all right, now that we're done, I'm gonna go brush my teeth. And she makes all these moaning noises with her electric toothbrush. And I'm like, man, that's some crazy toothbrush she's doing there.
Mm.
Yeah, she brushes her teeth hard, I guess.
Yeah, is your toothbrush called the rabbit? That's it. That's like a masturbating tool.
What's masturbating?
My number 2 pick is also When Harry Met Sally, so we're going to overlap with that a bit. So I'm going to go to my number 1.
Oh yeah, number 2 is When Harry Met Sally. There you go.
And then you'll go to your number 2 and number 1. This is my number 1. I mean, we come from the comic book, sci-fi, adventure, fun movie world. I don't have one of those shirts on. Mine's just a brand t-shirt. On me and my boyfriend's first Valentine's Day together, we of course saw Deadpool together.
See, I wanted to put Deadpool on. Good choice.
Good choice. So
it was a Valentine's movie.
It was a Valentine's Day movie, and it's ultimately a love story.
It is a love story.
It is a love story about a horrifying-looking man who constantly regenerates, and his girlfriend, who I guess is cool with this. I don't know. I don't know where they're going to take that relationship. In the second movie...
It sounds like a great Valentine's Day movie.
But no, it's a fun movie to watch together, especially if you both like that kind of film. You don't want to sit there and watch... You know, I don't know, An Affair to Remember or whatever, these like romantic movies, which I think that one was actually really depressing. Yeah. The one that I just
you don't want to watch Atonement?
Yeah, I love Atonement. You want to watch something that you can have fun with together. So Deadpool, my number one choice. Yeah. What's your 2 and your 1?
My number 2 pick would have to be Blue Valentine with Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams. If you want to know what your relationship is going to turn into, check this movie out. That's not really on my list.
Okay.
Number 2 of my choice would be Notting Hill.
Aww.
Because that is just a fun movie, and that's another one that really touches me a lot.
It's a really well-made
Their chemistry
dramedy.
Is so good in that movie.
It is.
Like
the chemistry between everyone.
I actually didn't really love Julia Roberts or love Hugh Grant until I watched this movie one day.
And you're like, I get it.
I get why you guys are the rom-com people. With Hugh Grant being charmingly befuddled and Julia Roberts being quiet and hot or whatever she does.
She's coy. She's coy.
Yeah, she's got this
That's
confidence.
what quiet and hot means, is coy.
I don't know. And it kind of gives Guy hope, you know, that he could hook up with a famous chick one day and just be a regular dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Who is the woman that you're thinking of that you want that to happen with?
Judi Dench.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Mine's Marissa Tomei.
Ooh, Marissa Tomei. Good choice.
Yeah.
But she's a little too old for me, Marissa Tomei.
Yeah,
that's the issue there.
She's getting up there. She didn't hold up well.
My number 1 pick would be the most realistic one out of all my cliche choices. Knocked Up. Knocked Up is a film that I love because I feel like in real life, most people I think have sex with each other before they fall in love. The majority, not everyone. I'm not talking about you, Stacy, who waits till marriage. Jesus. I want all you guys to know I don't wait till marriage. That was a film that the first time I saw it, I actually didn't like it. I thought it was annoying. Then the second time I watched it, I thought it was a very moving film. I think that's a perfect date movie to watch, or a perfect Valentine's Day movie to watch, because women can love that film because it's a romantic film, and guys will love it too because it's got so much bro humor and there's a camaraderie of guys in there as well. So I think that a lot of times on Valentine's Day, it's mainly the girls' holiday, but if you're gonna watch a movie together, I think Knocked Up is that perfect film where guy and girl will both be heavily satisfied by the end of it. And also, you know, it's a movie about people falling in love with each other. It's not about a movie where they're apart and then they decided like, oh, I love you, and they say it in front of a big crowd at the end. This is a story about people who are in this random situation, a realistic one, and they make it work in the end. And then by the end, I'm like, I'm really happy for these guys. And plus, it's a movie that ruined Katherine Heigl's career because she made stupid comments. So you gotta watch it.
I think Knocked Up is...
bash my Knocked Up?
I'm not gonna bash it. When I saw it, I thought it was really funny. I don't think it's romantic. In fact, I think it's kind of depressing. Because she is forced to stay with this guy because she has a kid with them. And
she's not forced. They were broken up at one point in the movie.
Nobody wants to have a baby alone. This is what I'm saying.
I know plenty of Mexican women in California.
Nobody wants to, though. That's a tough time. So she's like, all right, I'm pregnant. This guy's here. I guess we're doing this. I'm sure she'll grow to love him.
I think you need to watch it again.
I'm sure she'll grow to love him.
She did love him by the end.
I don't know. I think she was just scared.
Yeah, that's the movie that everyone loved and was a global box office hit. It was this guy.
No, that's
she just chose, I'm pregnant, I gotta be with him.
I look at it like a comedy. Like, I loved all the male camaraderie stuff. I loved her and her sister's relationship. That was all hilarious. But in terms of, like, talking about, like, oh, it's a true romantic film, I didn't think it was romantic. I thought it was kind of depressing. Like, for that part of it. I'm not saying that they couldn't have a happy relationship, but were they the loves of each other's life? No.
Well, sometimes it's not about soulmates.
I want a soulmate.
Well, go get one.
Okay.
Don't take your personal issues out on my choice here.
Okay. No, I will admit that it was a really funny movie, and I do rewatch it a lot. I do like it a lot. I will give it that.
Well, guys, those are our top 5 movies to watch on Valentine's Day. I hope you liked Stacy's.
We got one rom-com with
friggin' weird ass.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings is really romantic.
Yeah.
Remember when Gandalf died?
Yeah. You ruined 50 First Dates and knocked up for me. Thanks, Stacy. My mind's easily influenced.
I'm not a romantic gal.
What are your top 5 favorite movies to watch on Valentine's Day? Hopefully Stacy reads your choices and bashes them.
I will.
Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell. Follow Stacy Howard on Instagram and Twitter. Check out our Patreon. Happy fucking Valentine's Day. Bye. Get out of my apartment, Stacy.
Okay.